Hey everybody, Retrofied here, and today we got a crazy announcement on Nintendo Today. We got the cast reveal of the Legend of Zelda movie. So if you guys are excited for the movie, make sure you leave a comment below telling me what you think about the casting. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because it helps out a ton. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So this morning, the two lead actors for this new movie got revealed, and I think this is just crazy. So playing Zelda is Bo Bragason, and playing Link is Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. So hopefully I'm pronouncing their names right, but these are our two main actors for the Legend of Zelda movie. Now these are the only two that got revealed at this time. We don't know Ganon or Tingle or any other characters, but these are our two main characters, and this is just really cool. Now this movie releases in 2027, specifically May 2027. Now will this date get pushed back? Hopefully not, because it's still so far away, but it's still so close. And I'm just really excited for this movie. So pretty recently they announced that this movie was coming out, and they pushed it back a couple days. And then some rumors came out about the casting. The only real rumor that came out was that Hunter Schafer might have been considered for the role, but now we know that she isn't going to be playing the lead role of Zelda. And I honestly thought that that would have been amazing casting, but I am happy with the casting that we got. One thing that I really like about the casting is that it is a lot more smaller actors that a lot of people aren't going to recognize. I know myself, I don't recognize any of these actors, but that is a good thing. It would be really hard to watch a Zelda movie with Tom Holland and Zendaya as the two main characters and Jack Black as Ganondorf. So having these smaller actors is really cool. Now for Ganondorf, I hope they do cast a more well-known actor, just because he's the main villain of the movie, and it kind of makes sense. My personal choice for the casting of Ganondorf would be Christopher Judge. He played Kratos in the God of War games, and he just looks the part, and he also has a really deep voice, and I just feel like he would be a really great casting for Ganondorf. Like I said earlier, I'm really glad we didn't get like Tom Holland as Link. I know a lot of people were scared that we were gonna get some really big actor as Link, and it just wouldn't be that great. So now, because we have the casting, this kind of leads us to think about what the movie's actually gonna be like. And now personally, I really want it to kind of be its own solo Zelda story, still being connected to the timeline, but not just being a retelling of Ocarina of Time or a retelling of Breath of the Wild. I want this to be its own brand new story with some new characters, some returning characters, just like it's a game but a movie. And with this casting, I feel like we're not going to be getting Ocarina of Time. We still could be, getting an Ocarina of Time like story, and they just didn't reveal, Kid Link and Kid Zelda. But personally, I feel like they're not going to go with that story route. So for the plot of the movie, I definitely think they're going to do more of a grounded story. I don't think they're going to do something like, Twilight Princess, where it's just crazy everywhere. I feel like the story will be more like Ocarina of Time with elements of Breath of the Wild in it. I don't think that we're gonna start out the movie with Zelda and Link, already knowing each other and Link being her guard. I feel like it's gonna start out like Ocarina of Time, where Link lives in the forest and eventually becomes the hero. One thing that I really hope for this movie though is that it does pay homage to the games in their style. And what I mean by this is how the games have dungeons and have bosses, and I really hope that this is how the movie is laid out. I hope it's not just Link realizing that he needs to defeat Ganondorf, and then he goes on a long journey to get to Ganondorf's castle, and then he fights Ganondorf, and that's the movie. Because we saw something similar to that in the Mario movie, and I really hope we don't get a movie like this. I feel like it'd be great if we actually got Link going to dungeons, having the puzzle aspect to it, where it even puzzles the audience, and then fighting a boss, and then getting some medallion or gem or whatever, and then going to the next dungeon, and then eventually fighting Ganondorf. Now, I hope that the movie isn't just dungeon after dungeon after dungeon, because with Ocarina of Time, there were like 8 dungeons. I hope it is more grounded, where maybe there are 3 or 4 different ones that Link goes to. And one thing I also hope for this movie is that Hyrule is in its prime. I don't want to see another ruined Hyrule like in Breath of the Wild. I want to see Hyrule being a kingdom, and there being villages like Kakariko Village, and being a nice castle town, like we saw in Ocarina of Time and in Twilight Princess. I hope it's something like that. Now, where would I like this movie to be in the timeline? If this movie is connected to the same continuity, I feel like it'd be perfect to be before Ocarina of Time. And now one really cool thing that they could honestly do with this movie is have it lead up to the Hyrulean Civil War, which we saw talked about in Ocarina of Time, which is actually what kicked off the story of that game. It'd be really cool if we saw that in its early days, or saw it kind of lead up to the Hyrulean Civil War. But with the Zelda lore, this movie would have to be at least 100 years before or after a game, because Ganondorf is born once every 100 years. Now, do I think they're going to stay in the same continuity, in the same timeline? I don't know. Because you gotta remember that this is a movie, and what do movies love? Sequels. And normally Zelda games don't really get sequels to them. If they defeat Ganondorf at the end of the movie, then it's not gonna make a lot of sense when he comes back the next movie, or something like that. Normally Zelda games are always just one singular story. I know we just recently got Tears of the Kingdom, which was a direct sequel, and we also have Adventure of Link, which is a direct sequel, but this movie most likely is getting a sequel. And I know it's crazy to talk about a sequel for a movie that is still 2 years out, but we have to look at this movie as a movie and not a Zelda game. So do I think this movie is going to be in the same timeline? I don't really think so. I feel like it'll be more like the Mario movie, where it's just its own thing that is relating to the games, but it's more of a culmination of all the games into a movie, rather than being somewhere in the complicated timeline that is the Zelda timeline. So yeah, wrapping up, I am just really ecstatic that we even got a casting announcement this early on. It would have been really cool if we got a direct, like how we got with the Mario movie, or part of a direct was talking about this movie. It'd be really cool if we saw, you know, something related to the movie, some concept art, or a lot more of the actors that are in the movie. Maybe in the direct that we're probably going to be getting soon, we'll get more announcements, but so far, these are 2 announcements. So before I end the video, I just want to tell all of you guys thank you, because I just took a super long break for making videos, and just thank you guys for just being a subscriber, or even just watching the videos. If you're not subscribed, thank you just for watching the videos. I just took a really long break just because I just feel like I couldn't make any more videos. I didn't know what to make videos about, but now I'm back and I'm going to be making a lot more videos, and I'm really excited because I have some really good video ideas coming up. I'm also going to be at the Southeast Game Exchange convention, which is actually this weekend. I'm gonna be there Saturday and Sunday, so if you guys are gonna be there, be on the lookout, because I'm gonna be walking around, I'm gonna be recording a video. You guys could be in the video if you're gonna be there, but yeah, it's gonna be really fun, and I can't wait. So I will see you guys in the next one.